Good morning.
Good morning.
It has been a few days since we've done any siding. We did chicken harvesting for the first time this season and for the first time at this property. It went well. It took us a little bit to get everything dialed in. We've been doing it at our other property for quite a long time, so we kind of had like all the systems worked out and we knew where everything was and kind of like the flow. So coming here and setting everything up just took a little bit. I was down there doing the plucking and the scalding, and it's a little bit far of a walk, but the reason why I liked doing it over there is we had shade from the solar panels.
It was warm too. It was a pretty warm day.
Yeah, it was warmer than normal for us and humid. So to do it down there was nice. A little bit of a walk. Sometime I'd like to concrete this and then get like a bigger easy up or something to put over here. And then we could do it over that way and we could just kind of like wash off everything. Gina was inside doing all the eviscerating and clean up, and we had them in coolers in there. And we did 64. We had 58 meat birds, and then we had, so we did 62. 58 meat birds and then 4 roosters that we've been having to take care of. So those are all done. Gina and Olivia packaged up about 20 of them. They cut them into parts and pieces and then vacuum sealed them.
Yep.
So that'll be nice. We have breasts, drums, wings. And then
I did keep the wings and the carcass together because I'll make broth with that. So
Yep.
I did keep that all together and I can get the meat off at that time. But I did not. I just did the breast and the thighs and the legs. I did that together.
Gotcha.
And so I have it all pieced out. So it'll be nice for meals too. Not to always have to have one big bird.
Always nice to have parts and pieces. So if you want to make different meals,
Yes.
you can. We did get some new farm animals for the homestead. I don't know if you guys can hear them right now. We'll show them to you in a little bit. But we want to get siding. We've been getting a ton of rain, and well, we haven't been siding. We've got a lot more rain. And right now, it's supposed to be clear for a little while. So we want to see how much siding we can get done before it starts raining again.
We've been really grateful that we've been able to work in between the rain showers and everything. So, but we need to get back to it and get this done.
So I was just up in the lift. We should be about 6 more pieces, and that'll get us finished up to the bottom of the window. So we're gonna go ahead and cut 4 of them, get a pattern going, and then we'll get everything painted up. Then we can go up there and get a bunch of them going and see how close we are to the window. I'm thinking it's 6, but I don't know. It's always hard for me to tell how many I actually need. So 4 will be a good starting point. I really like this siding. If I had to do it again, I would see if I could get a wider board, and that way you wouldn't be putting up as many pieces. It is just a time-consuming process, but it looks so nice.
The roof overhang, well, we thought we would have it done by now, but it's not. We do have what we're gonna do, not what we originally were gonna do, but that will be done in between probably projects.
Yeah, so on the roof overhang, we were gonna do a different style metal roofing. We ordered it. It was supposed to come in, I think it was like 2 to 3 weeks. It took, I think like 6 weeks. And then when we got it, they shipped it to us the wrong size. They had told us it was gonna be whatever length. We ordered it, and then it was about 7 or 8 inches short. So I sent it back and I didn't bother ordering it again. We're changing it up. We're doing something different because it's just been a fiasco with that metal company. I can't remember what metal roofing company we ordered it from, but I was not impressed. So we just switched it up, and we have the products here. And now we just gotta get the time, because when we had the time, we didn't have what we needed.
Isn't that the way it goes? Anyway, I guess it wasn't meant to be for having that roofing material, so it'll be what it's gonna be.
When I went up this morning and did some measuring, figured I was in his window. He didn't know what to think when he saw me coming up from the outside. He was kind of confused. What do you think, Mr. Figaro? Once we get past these windows, the siding will really start shrinking. All right, so we did 16, 14, 12, so this will be a 10-footer. It's like paint by number, but you don't get a pretty picture afterwards.
How is it paint by number?
Oh, just like tell yourself that and you'll feel better about doing it. Got my wet noodle. All right, I got the first piece all cut and painted for right below the window. Hopefully we measured everything correctly because these ones take quite a bit of time figuring out and cutting and painting. So when they're not right the first time, it's a big pain because you just wasted a bunch of time. So hopefully this one's good, and then we will go ahead and get the other two windows done in the next piece. And I think once we get above all these three windows, it should go pretty quick. And then after a while, it'll all just be one piece we can put these up in. So it's looking good. I'm excited to have it this far done. All right, that is going good. That is looking good, I should say. I didn't think that one was gonna fit right, but I just had to take out the clamp and put it in from the bottom up. Thought it was gonna be cut wrong, but once I adjusted it right, it's perfect. So that's good. I gotta go cut a piece to fit under the other two windows, and then over, I'll get that up. Well, not test fit it, but I'll get it up and I'll mark everything. Then I'll bring it back down, cut it, paint it. And then we can get it up and fill in that little space. And then we should just be able to start going. It's just that easy, but it'll go a lot quicker now once we're done with the windows. Now, this is exciting. This has been like the holdup for months now because of the lift. My fault, I got the wrong lift. All right, I got the one for below the next two windows done. Hopefully we can go 2 for 2 and this one fits without an issue. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it'd be nice. Usually not that lucky. we ended up getting some new homestead livestock, and there they are right there. We got some sheep to add to the mix. We wanted the sheep to run behind the cows because sheep go behind the cows and will eat the grass that the cows don't get. Goats are browsers, so goats aren't going to go behind and eat the grass, where sheep will, and then sheep will turn that into meat.
I didn't want any wool sheep, so I was looking into hair sheep breeds, and so what I had decided was a Katahdin, and then I was looking into it further more recently and was looking for a Katahdin Dorper cross, because the two of them together, I guess, is really good for if you decide to raise them for meat, and they're good for this kind of climate. So that's why I chose this breed, and so far they're doing well.
The breed Katahdins were actually bred and made in Katahdin, Maine. So one of the reasons we wanted to get the Katahdin sheep is because we wanted to get something that's kind of close to our climate and region, so they're used to our weather. And then the Dorper mix is supposed to make them a little bit more pest resistant. So that's why we like the cross there. The Katahdin is more of a hair one, and then the Dorper makes them more parasite resistance, which is what we're looking for. The plan is just to have these guys grass fed out on pasture and hay in the wintertime. The farm that we got these from, they were out on pasture with the mothers there. What are they, like 10 or 12 weeks old?
Yeah, probably about 12 weeks.
I believe. So we're going to keep these ladies this year. If we like them and they work out good, they will be our breeder stock. And if not, they'll be in the freezer and we'll have some good, delicious lamb this winter. So I guess it all depends on how they like the farm or not. But that's the plan, is to keep them if we like them, and then we can use those. And we'll have to get a male and we can stop breeding them. And then we can have some baby lambs next year, and then we can either grow the herd or use them for meat and just have them going behind the cows and eating all the grass that the cows don't get. All this tall grass behind me is all left over from the cows, so there's quite a bit of the grass that the cows won't eat, because milk cows are going for more nutritionally dense grass, and we want them to eat that. We don't want to force them to eat the stuff that's not nutritionally dense, but the sheep will eat that. But these ladies are young. It's taken them a little bit more time to clean this area up, but which is nice, is we can keep them close to the barn to get them more used to us, and then after they're more used to us and being handled, then we'll bring them out on the pasture behind the cows.
I did look into AI for sheep so that we wouldn't have to get a male or a ram, and it did say it's hard for a sheep to be AI'd, so if we decide to go ahead and have a breeding stock, then we would have to go ahead and get a male.
So if you don't know, what a hair sheep is they lose their hair like a goat or a cow every year, and they don't grow the wool that you have to shave off, because wool really isn't worth much money. And if you have a wool sheep right now, you have to have somebody come in and shear them, or you got to learn how to shear them. So that's one less thing we'll have to do with these guys.
They're still getting used to us. They seem to like it here. We do not have any names, so you have any name suggestions? They're both females and they're livestock, so can I keep it around that kind of name suggestions?
Right now they have air tags in, and one says 293 and one says 297, so that's what we've been calling it, was 93 and 97. It keeps it simple.
But they really seem to be liking it here. We want to try to get them used to like a little halter so we can train them to go to the next pasture and stuff, but we'll see what happens because we've never done that before. We're still learning a little bit with the cows, but so far that is getting better and better.
Try to take notes with my phone and write down the measurements. So 70 and a half, so I don't want to use this one. I wonder if we have one closer. All of these over here are going the wrong direction. All right, this one's gonna have to do because all the other ones are too short. So yes, that's the right direction. 70 and a quarter from the long point. Make sure it was 70 and a quarter. 70 and a half, good thing I checked. 70 and a half. Get this one painted up, and then we can get it up above and figure what, there should be a certain amount that it shrinks over all of them. All right, so if my theory's right, we're gonna take off 4 1/4 inches off every piece. So this one's gonna be 66 1/4. So the next one I cut, I will make it 62 even. That is looking really good. I am happy with the progress we've been able to make. I gotta stop right now. The video is not ending, but I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna go record a podcast with Jason from Solar Land and Ben from Modern Homestead. We've been doing a podcast together now for about a month. And this is gonna be the 4th or the 5th one we are recording right now, and they're going out on Friday afternoons. So if you guys haven't heard our podcast, it's called Homestead Shop Talk, and we're talking homestead and homesteading shop. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll have a link in the description down below. Go listen to it. Let us know what you think. But I'll see you guys in a second. It's not supposed to be raining out right now, but it is. This is the weather we've been getting lately. Wow, that's all I can say. It's coming down good right now. Well, that rainstorm passed. The sun is coming out. The podcast went good last night. If you guys haven't heard the Homestead Shop Talk podcast, check it out. We're on all podcast platforms except for iTunes. Maybe by now we are. iTunes takes over 3 weeks for them to approve a podcast or something like that. And we are on YouTube. We made a YouTube channel called Homestead Shop Talk where you can watch the podcast that way. And YouTube also has some kind of podcast platform too that you can listen to it on. So check us out if you guys want to hear it. We're having fun doing it. So it's been fun doing it. It's nice being able to talk with other like-minded guys that are doing a lot of different projects on the homestead. So I think it's time to get back up there and start on this long side, and then we can get in between the windows filled in. It's supposed to rain today. I'm hoping the rain we got a little while ago is most of it, because we don't need any more. We are waterlogged here. Everything is soggy. I feel like we live in the jungle. It is just super humid all the time. It cools off a little bit at night, but the humidity level is still like 80+%. So I am looking for the rain to stop and for it to dry out. Yeah, it'll just be nice. All right, so the first one we got to cut at 70 3/8. And then after that, it should be -4 1/4 inches to give us the pattern. But I'll get this one up, measure the next one just to make sure. Maybe it's off from side to side a little bit. You never know, so we'll double check it. And then we can get the rest of them cut and get that done. Let's get quite a few of these made. So let's go 66 1/8. And then it would be 62 and no, it'd be 61 3/4, 61 7/8. No, yes. All right, let's get our Bob Ross on. I got my fancy paintbrush. If it was him, he'd be using a putty knife. So I guess I'm not Bob Rossing it up, am I? All right, I need to cut a bunch of little pieces to go in between the two windows. The air atmosphere has just changed, so I don't know if that means the weather's coming in or not, but you can just definitely feel like some kind of pressure change. So hopefully the weather holds off. We are still really fogged in this morning. All right, hopefully these are dry enough now, and I'm hoping that rain holds off because I can definitely feel the difference in the air. We have something coming in. I wasn't too quite sure what had happened. My angle wasn't right. Well, I came out here and I had my saw set on a 50-degree angle instead of a 45. I'm gonna get this recut, repainted. We'll get it back up and everything should be spot on. I was scratching my head there for a second. Now that we have that fixed, let's put it back up there, get this piece done. I'm trying to get at least the first row above the window done before this rain comes, because I can feel it, it's coming. It's what we keep fighting this summer. I'm just glad we're able to work through it and get some of our projects still done throughout the raindrops, or around the raindrops, I should say. Don't know if you can hear the thunder in the background, but we got that finished just in time. The rain has started and there's a thunderstorm coming. That was my goal, was at least to get above the window line, because that's all kind of like the slower part. So now it should be a little bit quicker to finish up the top and get that done. I got to redo the stink pipe. That's just temporary. Up there, I'm going to take it all down, or most of it down, when I put the siding in. I'll probably paint that flat black just so it blends in a little bit better. Not the end of the world, but it'll be nice. Then we got to put all of our soffit flashing up, and the backside will be done. I think we're going to have enough siding left, at least to do all up above. It'll be close to do the other side, but as long as we have enough to do up there, I'm going to be happy.